The entire world is hidden, only I stand above it. At least, that's what Dr. Doom believes. Look, a typical origin story, you can find that anywhere. So today, in this video, we're going to understand it from Doom's own perspective. And trust me, he's not some random broken villain. In all of Marvel Comics, he's one of the characters with the deepest depth. This video is going to go very deep. So grab something to eat, sit back, and let's begin. Episode 1. Doom was born in the country of Latveria, into a Romani tribe, a lower-class group of people and who were constantly oppressed by the ruler, the Baron, to the point where they weren't even allowed to live in the main village. They were forced to stay outside, and obviously they were extremely poor. But Victor Von Doom was different from birth. Normally, children don't even form memories at that age. But Victor was conscious even while he was still in his mother's womb, and he remembers everything. This was possible because his mother, Cynthia, was a powerful source of magic. She even tried to gain power from demons. On the other hand, Victor's father, Werner, hated all of this. He was just a simple doctor. Even then, Doom's childhood was decent, at least until the age of 3, because one night, everything changed. Cynthia trying to protect her tribe from the Baron, so she made a deal with Mephisto to gain power. And yes, she got the power. But it was beyond her capacity. She became corrupted. Still, she managed to kill many guards who had brutally tortured their people. But Mephisto, during the payment, took the lives of all the children in nearby villages. When Cynthia came back to her senses, she was filled with regret. At that same moment, the remaining villagers went mad and attacked her. She died in Werner's arms. And even in her final breath, she gave Werner one last warning. No matter what happens, keep Victor away from dark magic. But why did she say that? Werner was about to find out. The very next day, Victor had already lost his mother at just 3 years old, at an age where he couldn't even understand what was happening. And that trauma was going to stay with him for life. The next day, after burying Cynthia with the tribe members told Werner and Victor, "You staying with us is dangerous for everyone. It's better if you leave." That's when Victor saw the reality. No one truly belongs to anyone. And then, a 3-year-old Victor shouted at them, "Shut up! If you tell us to leave one more time, I'll grow up, come back, and tear every single one of you apart." Hearing that, they were terrified. So they didn't force them out immediately. For the next 7 to 8 years, they lived like wanderers, just traveling. Time passed, somewhat okay. Victor tried to move on from his trauma. None of the other kids talked to him, except one. His only friend, his first love, Valeria. Victor had no purpose, no worries, but those were the last happy moments of his life. Because one day, the Baron's wife fell sick, and Victor's father, Werner, was called to treat her. But he couldn't save her because she had cancer. The Baron, being cruel, blamed Werner for her death and sent soldiers to kill him. Werner ran away with Victor. For 2 to 3 days, they hid in a freezing forest, hungry, thirsty. One night, Werner held Victor close to his chest, just to keep him warm. The next morning, Victor saw his father had frozen to death. He cried, he screamed, and then he passed out. Later, some tribe members found them and rescued Victor. But Werner was gone. Because of that Baron, Victor had lost both his parents. You can imagine how broken he was, and how much rage he carried. From that moment, he changed. He became cold. The emotion of happiness was gone. And this was just the beginning. Victor wanted revenge. Revenge for the death of his parents against that Baron. But he was helpless, powerless. And for revenge, he needed power. And then, he got a chance. Cynthia had told Werner to keep Victor away from magic. But now, Werner was gone. Victor got his hands on a book of spells and started practicing. But it wasn't enough. So he turned to science. And then, he tried combining magic and science together. He started building weapons, so terrifying that the Baron's men would panic just seeing them. He began helping his tribe, just like his mother would have wanted. And within 3 to 4 years, he became the leader of his tribe. But in all of this, he grew distant from Valeria. He felt like his goal was much bigger. Love was just a distraction, a waste of time. And then came the moment of his first blood. One night, a man from the Baron's side approached him and said, "You're the one, right? Victor Von Doom? If I capture you, I'll get a huge reward." Doom replied, "Come on, Tom, I'll give you your reward." And then, he dropped the gun, grabbed him by the throat, and killed him. Just like that. Because at some point, it had to begin. But that night, he couldn't sleep. The guilt kept him awake. The next morning, a new chapter of his life began. A man from America arrived and offered Victor a chance to study and do research at an institute. With money involved and a chance to escape his past, Victor accepted. He left. And from here, that begins the most important chapter. At that same institute, there was another student, Reed Richards. the only person who was as intelligent as Victor. But Victor had something extra. He had knowledge of both science and magic. Still, Reed was more popular, more innocent, because he never went through what Victor had gone through. People liked Reed more, and that's where a strange feeling started growing inside Victor. A mix of jealousy and hatred. But when Victor saw the advanced equipment there, he was blown away. In a place where he had nothing, he had achieved so much. So here, what couldn't he do? For the next 3 years, he worked day and night, gave everything to research. America had brought him there for their own benefit. But Victor had his own plan, to free his mother's soul, because he knew she was trapped with Mephisto. After so much focus and dedication, one day, he got distracted. He started partying with college students, tried getting close to a girl, but when he looked into her eyes, he didn't see his mother or Valeria, and that's why this psycho tried to choke her to death. No action was taken against Victor. Instead, that girl was paid money, given a royal settlement, and silenced, because this 20-year-old Victor was too important for America. You know why? Because of his insane inventions. He had already built a time machine, a device where someone could enter and teleport into the past within that system. His second invention? Doombots. AI robots, similar to Ultron. But none of this spotlight was his main project. All of this money was just for show, something he built casually. In reality, in his private lab, he was secretly working on something else, a device that could take him into Mephisto's dimension so he could free his mother's soul. One day, Reed saw it and told Victor, "There's a mistake in your equations." But Victor didn't take him seriously because he was Victor Von Doom. He couldn't be wrong. Reed tried to warn him, but Victor didn't listen. He activated the machine and used it. He reached Mephisto's dimension, and there he saw it, his mother, being tortured for years. But the moment Mephisto saw Victor, he threw him out with such force that not only Victor, but the entire machine exploded. After a few days, Victor regained consciousness, but all he could see now was his failure, his weakness. Years of planning, dedication, everything wasted. And when his bandages were removed, he saw something worse. His face was destroyed. The face he once had was gone. Now, Victor had no reason to stay there. The only purpose he came for had already failed. So he activated his Doombots, unleashed chaos, and escaped. And from here begins the journey from Victor Von Doom to Dr. Doom. Doom started wandering across the world, searching for a purpose, but every night when he slept, Mephisto came into his dreams and tortured him. And then, one day, he met Valeria again. After so many years, Victor told her everything that had happened. Valeria told him that in Latveria, the Baron was still torturing their people, still hunting for Victor, like a dog. For a few days, they stayed together, peacefully. With Valeria around, the nightmares stopped. Maybe because he wasn't even sleeping anymore. For a moment, Victor felt happiness again, but as you know, it never lasts long. One night, Valeria told him clearly, "You should go back to Latveria. You should become their hero." Doom replied, "I'll think about it." The next morning, they were walking together. A beggar approached Valeria and gave her a flower. Doom said, "Stay in your limits." At that moment, a group of thugs arrived and grabbed Valeria. They blackmailed Doom to come with them. These were Russian mercenaries, sent by the Baron. But suddenly, the flower activated. An energy shield formed around Valeria, and strange, magical things started happening. All the thugs were eliminated, and the beggar, who was actually named Otto, was shot during the fight. He was dying. With his last breath, he told Doom, "I'm not a random beggar. You are our god. I came from a temple in Tibet." He said, "For years there has been a belief that a man will come who has lost everything, who hides his real face from the world. He will come to our temple, learn our ancient secrets, and become our master." Yeah, that typical old wise character from movies. Died for no reason. Could have just said it earlier. Otto continued, "My time is over, but yours has just begun. Go to our temple, learn the science of magic." Victor finally found direction. He left Valeria once again and began his journey towards Tibet. But one thing was clear in his mind: he would return to Latveria for revenge. For his mother, his father, Valeria, his people, everyone. And now the real badass moments were about to begin. Doom began his journey to Tibet, on foot, through freezing mountains. He built devices for survival, to cut through ice, to keep himself warm, and weapons, just in case. And here, a full circle moment happens. Years ago, in a similar situation, his father died, trying to save him. But now, he would face everything alone. And then, Mephisto returned, in his dreams, torturing him again. As if that wasn't enough. something even worse happened. A Yeti appeared in front of him. A brutal fight broke out. Victor took heavy damage, injuries, deep wounds. He was barely standing, but in the end, he killed the Yeti. And then he ate it. Couldn't finish it entirely, so he carried the rest of its body in his bag for later. But after walking some distance, completely exhausted, badly injured, Victor collapsed and lost consciousness. Later, monks from that sacred temple found him and took him in. A week later, he woke up and realized his journey was successful. After that, days turned into months. Months turned into years, and he didn't even notice. He just kept learning, and learning. Those monks had been combining science and magic for centuries, the kind of devices there that were beyond imagination. Victor realized nothing is impossible. No law of the universe is absolute. After 5 years of continuous dedication, the time had come. Even the monks started calling him Master. They had found their chosen one, their great hero, and Victor was ready for a new journey. After staying away from the normal world for so long, it now felt meaningless. Humans, to him, they were nothing, just useless beings. Increasing population. I was once like them. He built a system that could show him all the news of the world, but only 2 things made his blood boil. Number 1, the Baron, the one responsible for his parents' death, was now the king of Latveria. Just seeing that filled him with rage. Number 2, Reed Richards. Reed was now working on space travel, bringing massive advancements to NASA, to the world. Reed was the smartest man alive, and that burned Victor from the inside. He stayed hidden, didn't show himself to the world, didn't care about the world, but when the same world praised Reed, called him the smartest, it hurt deeply. And just like that, Reed became his greatest enemy. Victor started believing Reed must have stolen his research, that everything Reed achieved came from him. He even believed Reed had sabotaged his machine. That's why it exploded. That's why his face was destroyed. Even in the news, people called him Dr. Reed Richards. And from that day, Victor gave an order. From now on, everyone will call me Dr. Doom. And that's how the name was born. A name built on jealousy, hatred, and ego. Slowly, Dr. Doom's mind started breaking. He was haunted by dreams of Valeria, his mother, his father. All of it was Mephisto, trying to weaken him, trying to remind him that he was still human. But Doom refused. He decided to cut himself off from all emotions, warmth, cold, feelings, everything from the world itself. And for that, he created something, an armor, a second skin. He used everything he knew, science, magic, every bit of knowledge. He placed an enchantment on it, so no demon could ever reach him. And then he completed it with a mask. Wearing it, he said, "I am no longer Victor Von Doom. I am Dr. Doom." Doom was ready to return to Latveria. He took his most trusted servant, Laren, and using his own crafted device, he flew straight back. The moment he arrived, he killed a few of the king's guards right in front of the people. And then he announced, "Doom has returned, and very soon, your King Vladimir will die." He could have simply entered the palace and killed the king instantly. But where's the fun in that? He wanted fear. He wanted the king to feel it. Doom set up his base in an abandoned castle, a place where no one lived anymore, because years ago, in a single night, all the children of that village had died. Remember? Now Doom started building everything he needed, planning, preparing, but then he realized attacking slowly, spreading his name, waiting, would take too much time. So he went unto his tribe, met the current leaders, and told them, "I will become your new king. A new era is coming. You will all be free from this filthy King Vladimir." One man stepped forward and said, "And why should we believe you? Who are you? From the way you talk, it sounds like you'll become a king yourself. So how will we be free? Yes, you were once a leader here, but then you ran away. And now you return, expecting us to follow you?" Doom didn't argue. He killed him. Right there, in front of everyone. And just like that, his name spread. Doom started building his army. People who had been waiting for a savior for years. But there was one girl, madly in love with a boy. That boy was now Dr. Doom. She said to him, "What have you become in this fire of revenge? Do you even realize? You think you have power, but you've only isolated yourself from the world, Victor." Doom replied, "Leave, now." Because symbolically, Victor had died long ago. What remained was Dr. Doom. Doom attacked. with his army and his Doombots. No one could stop him. He crushed the king's soldiers, bodies everywhere, one by one. He started taking over cities. Then he sent a messenger to King Vladimir, along with a device through which he could speak via live hologram. The king killed the messenger first, then spoke to Doom. Doom said, "Vladimir, I'm giving you one last chance to live. Surrender." The king replied, "You dare speak to your king like this?" Doom said, "You're not a king to me. You're just the Baron, responsible for my parents' death. And this offer is for a limited time." Vladimir, in anger, destroyed the device. And just like that, war was declared. Doom told his people, "The king has rejected peace. Prepare yourselves. Tomorrow, we go to war." And now, the climax. Doom attacked from all sides. Some soldiers were killed, the rest were captured, and those prisoners begged, "Please, spare us. We'll fight for you instead." Slowly, Doom's army grew. Bigger, stronger. So much so that when they reached the castle, even the king on it was afraid. One day passed, the next day, both armies stood face to face, waiting for a signal. The king's commander gave the order. No one moved. In that entire battlefield, only one man walked forward, Dr. Doom. And as he walked, the king's army moved aside. They had already accepted him as their new king. Doom entered the castle and asked, "Where is your king?" They answered, "He's preparing to escape in the church. Can you even reach him?" Doom flew like Iron Man, crashed through the glass ceiling of the church, and landed right in front of the king. The king barely managed to pull off Doom's cloak. And in that exact moment, without a single word, in front of Jesus himself, Doom grabbed his throat and killed him. Then he removed the royal cloak and wore it himself. And just like that, his iconic look was complete. After that, he transformed Latveria, developed the country, turned it into something powerful. And the city he made his capital was once the same village that led to his mother's death. His purpose, to kill the Baron and become king, was complete. But there was still more left. To free his mother's soul from Mephisto's torture, to surpass Reed and become the smartest, not just in this world, but in the entire multiverse, to become a god. We'll talk about all that very soon. If possible, let's drop a comment. How was it? Subscribe. And if you want to see Time Runs Out Comic Explain, do click on the next video. Thank you.